What is up, Pats Nation? It's Patriots Global back here with another video, and in this one, we're going to be talking about the possibility of Deshaun Watson to the Patriots in 2021. Now, Deshaun Watson is essentially in the last year of his contract for this upcoming season, in which he would be making a base salary of about $1.1 million, which is great value for the type of quarterback that the Houston Texans are getting. If you look it up, it does say that he would be an unrestricted free agent in 2022. That is because he was a first-round pick. So the Houston Texans will have the option to sign him to his fifth-year option, which honestly wouldn't surprise me if they do. So essentially, he should become a free agent in 2021, but because that fifth-year option is on the table, it would surprise me if the Houston Texans don't sign him to it. So one of two things could happen, okay? Either the Patriots would have to wait till later, which would be 2022 after his fifth-year option, which is when he would go into free agency, if he did sign that fifth-year option, or they could try to trade for him. And I'm sure earlier on in the offseason, a lot of people would have said Deshaun Watson to the Patriots. The Houston Texans would be stupid to trade one of their best players on their entire team, especially to a team like the Patriots. Then, in one of the first days of free agency, Bill O'Brien went and he traded their all-pro wide receiver in DeAndre Hopkins to the Arizona Cardinals. Essentially, after that move, everybody kind of went and said, well, Bill O'Brien's pretty stupid, so it's not really out of the question for him to do something like that. Now, for those of you who do not know, the big reason that, not Deshaun Watson, the big reason that DeAndre Hopkins was actually traded was because there is a lot of issues between Bill O'Brien and some of the players on the Houston Texans. One of the big players was DeAndre Hopkins. There were so many issues between Bill O'Brien and DeAndre Hopkins that Hopkins did not want to be there anymore. It was getting between the, locker room feuds. It was just not good chemistry for the overall football team, so he shipped him off. Now, Deshaun Watson, not happy about that. Okay, that was his number one guy to go to. That was his target. That was his guy. And again, to say the least, Deshaun Watson, not a happy guy. Now, since this whole trade of DeAndre Hopkins has kind of surfaced to the NFL, the 24-year-old Deshaun Watson has posted some pretty cryptic things on social media. He posted something about iconic duos and iconic duos being ripped apart, and then that sent some speculation into hyperdrive about another tweet that he made about deserving better. And ironically, that not-so-subtle tweet featured a picture of our New England Patriots head coach in Bill Belichick, who just so happens to be in need of a quarterback with TB12 out of the door. Watson now continues to post these cryptic messages all over social media, which has really put this into hyperdrive about a Deshaun Watson trade and Deshaun Watson out of Houston. Of course, Deshaun Watson is also one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I would definitely put him as a top 10 quarterback in the NFL right now. Bill Belichick also loves the type of quarterback that Deshaun Watson is. He's a young guy with great arm talent, great accuracy, but also is a very mobile quarterback who can do everything, which as of late, that has been the exact type of role that the quarterback position has taken over in the NFL the past few seasons. Now, a lot of people have talked about Deshaun Watson and the Patriots and a trade. So CBS actually went out and they talked about a potential mock trade between Deshaun Watson, the Texans, and the Patriots. So here's what they said. That they said that the Patriots would receive Deshaun Watson and a 2021 sixth-round pick. Well, get this. The Texans would receive a 2020 first-round pick, a 2021 first-round pick, a 2021 third-round pick, 2021 fourth-round pick, a 2022 second-round pick, and offensive guard Joe Thuney. So, of course, what does that mean? It means that the Texans would receive our first-round pick this year, our first-round pick next year. They would receive next year's third-round pick, next year's fourth-round pick, and then the following year's second-round pick. On top of that, they would be getting one of the best offensive guards in football, if not the best guard in football, in Joe Thuney. And to me, that trade is way too much for a guy like Deshaun Watson. Don't get me wrong, Deshaun Watson is an amazing quarterback. Like I mentioned, I believe that he's easily top 10. I think if the Patriots were able to land a guy like Deshaun Watson, then this whole rebuild, this whole Patriots dynasty over crap would easily 100% be done. I also think that he would excel much more with the Patriots than he would with the Houston Texans. But the type of compensation that CBS would have the Patriots giving up for Deshaun Watson is treating him as if he is the best quarterback in the NFL. They're treating it as if he is a Patrick Mahomes level type quarterback. And he's great, but I don't think he's Patrick Mahomes. If the Patriots were to trade for Deshaun Watson right now, with the type of CBS trade that I just talked about, they would be getting him for 1 year under contract, and then they would have that 5th year option. That would essentially be 2 years under contract before he would go and hit the open market, and in that case, what happens then? If the Patriots wouldn't be able to get a long-term deal done, he leaves in free agency, then the Patriots gave up all of those draft picks to at most get a guy for 2 years? I mean, those draft picks that the Patriots would have to give up would be essential to the future of the New England Patriots in rebuilding their team, revamping up their offense and their defense, and providing weapons around a guy like Deshaun Watson, who the Patriots would have to give up a pretty penny for going forward, especially if they want to get him signed long term. Because he's not Tom Brady. He's not going to be a guy that just says, okay, I'm good with 18 to 25 million a year. He's going to want bigger named money. And then, of course, to have to give up a key piece to your offensive line in a guy like Joe Thuney and not having a first-round pick or a high-round pick to be able to replace him poses as even more issues. So here's my thing. If things are getting so bad between the Houston Texans, Bill O'Brien, and Deshaun Watson to the point where they're like, this is not going to work out. It is extremely unhealthy for the chemistry in our locker room and our success for our team going forward, to the point where they have to get rid of Deshaun Watson, then there's no way that the Patriots would have to give up all of those draft picks. I mean, if you would have told me that DeAndre Hopkins, who I consider the best wide receiver in the NFL, would have gotten shipped off for just a mediocre running back who's old, not in his prime, in David Johnson, and a 3rd or 4th round pick that they had to give up, I just wouldn't see it having to cost the Patriots an arm and a leg like this potential mock trade that CBS proposed. Look, I think that it would be a match made in heaven. I think that Deshaun Watson would love to come play for the Patriots, work under Bill Belichick, and I'm sure Bill Belichick would love to have him. But I just don't see it happening. I don't think that it's something that the New England Patriots would essentially do. I don't think that it's something that the Houston Texans are going to try to look to do, at least. And I think that the Patriots just really love Jarrett Stidham right now. I mean, of course, we'll have to see how this season pans out with the Patriots quarterback situation and then evaluate it after the fact. But if Jarrett Stidham is as good as the media, as Bill Belichick, and as us fans saw in the preseason, then I don't see why Deshaun Watson would be a guy that the Patriots even need. That's going to be it for today's video, though. What are your guys' thoughts on this whole, the Patriots being favorites to land Deshaun Watson in 2021? I want to know your guys' thoughts on the situation. I think it's really intriguing. I mean, literally the jersey swaps that I've seen for Deshaun Watson to the Patriots have been insane. The talk about him to the Patriots have been insane. The whole situation is just definitely real, but what are your thoughts on the whole situation? Leave a like on this video if you found it helpful, fun, or just want to help me and the channel out. Subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. But other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.